Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. We are going to be talking about bug snacks. I don't know. And a lot of questions from our awesome listeners. We want to thank you so much for giving those in. So I am here with Sean Abbott, the greatest co-host in the entire universe, known to man or whatever, aliens, the whole deal. And me, Nick Metzger, the most okayest. I think I'm going to stick with this. The most okayest co-host known to at least this part of corner of the universe. Anyways, Game Pass news. Sean, how are you doing today, man?
Well, firstly, you undersell yourself greatly. So I'd say I'm the most okayest and you're the most awesome. So
I appreciate that.
You undersell yourself. Yeah, I'm good. Kids are off school, so my time's taken up mainly by grabbing the Switch and doing some whatever handheld play I can do, or grabbing half an hour once the kids are in bed or if the house is quiet to play anything Game Pass. Other than that, I've been taking my little boy out. He had his first big crash on his balance bike the other day. So, we've been getting over that. He's constantly referencing that daddy made me go on this big hill. But, I slightly encouraged him. But, yeah.
So, wait. How old is he?
He's 4. He's 4 years old.
Is he riding without training wheels?
So we got him a bike with training wheels, and he couldn't grasp the pedaling aspect quite well.
Okay.
So we thought to kind of build him up, get him used to balancing, bits and pieces like that. We buy him a balance bike, which is one of those which is just a front wheel, a back wheel, no pedals. So you kind of sit on the seat and you kick along with your feet to make yourself go.
Okay.
And then lift your feet up.
Okay.
So, He's great. He's like a rocket on this thing. He's like on flat ground. He is so fast. So I took him to the local woods and he rides up and down hills quite happily, using his feet as brakes because there's no brakes on the thing.
Man, you need to get that guy new shoes like every month.
Yeah, something. But it was getting his confidence up. He was doing these hills and he was getting higher and higher. And I was like, why don't you go right to the top? You've got this thing. You go straight up. And he was like, okay, Daddy. So he went up to the top and he was like, this is really high. And I was like, you're fine. Just keep your feet down. So what he did completely the opposite. He took 2 big kicks, just lifted his feet up and went like full blast down this hill.
Oh, man.
And I was like, as soon as I saw him start, I was like, he's picked up too much speed. He's coming off. So I bolted towards him. I knew he was coming off.
Uh-huh.
And he got speed wobble and it launched him, it tanked him off the bike straight away. He hit the ground, luckily in all these soft leaves. Rolled a couple of times just as I got my arms underneath him and picked him up, covered in leaves. And he looked at me, took a deep breath and went, started screaming. And I was like, you're okay. You're okay. Like tissues coming out of my pocket. And I'm like wiping his face down, getting all the leaves out of his mouth. Ripped his jumper off and shook his jumper off, get all the dirt and everything off. And I was like, you're okay. There's nothing hurt. And he's like, it hurts everywhere. I'm like, no, you're fine. Calm down. Deep breath, and he was like, oh, okay, Daddy. And then literally just walked back 2 paces, picked up his cap, stuck his cap back on, picked up his bike, and was like, we'll carry on now. I was like,
you're like, yeah, that's what I want to see.
But as soon as we got home, his mum was doing a load of work on the laptop at home. As soon as we got home, he was straight up saying, Mummy, I've had a really big crash on my bike. My daddy told me to go now. I'm like, you're absolutely kidding me.
He's like, I can't pick you up, but I can still throw you under this bus.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's been my week so far. Yeah. How about you? How are you doing?
The ironic part. What'd you say?
You're in almost the second week of spring break.
Oh no, break's over. Break is 1 week here.
Okay.
1 week and then you're back. You're broke. So everybody's back at school this week. The ironic part is we have our own like bike stuff going on. Noah got his first real bike, no training wheels for his birthday, which is kind of lame because it's in February and it's Michigan and nobody rides bikes in February around here. Not nobody, but definitely you're not going to train. You're not going to train to ride a bike in February. So it was finally warm enough on Saturday. He's been wanting to do it forever, and I was like, all right. I was like, today's the day. So no, it's Sunday. So Beck and I went out there and we helped him, and he did pretty good. It took him a little bit. We were out there again today. He wanted to go out. He's totally got it once he's going. Like he's figured that out. He's still working on the turns, and he's still working on the takeoff. He's trying to like figure out. He wants to like put both feet on the bike immediately, and I'm like, no, you got to push off, but on one foot, one foot on pedal, 1 foot push off. But instead, he wants to put like both feet on the bike immediately, and then he just kind of tilts over, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So that's been fun, and moved Sis out of the tricycle and into Noah's old bike. So everybody's getting the bike upgrade this year, which will be nice because maybe we can actually do some bike rides, because you could never really do them with both the kids because the tricycle didn't go fast enough, and it was always a thing. So yeah, that'll be cool if we can break out bikes and do some biking. Past that, it's always rough, first week back, or first couple days back. So everybody's kind of whiny and cranky. Adults too, probably. Because, and just like, we're all back to work and we're maybe not ready for it entirely. So yeah. And by the way, the Duke is in the chat. We all went to see Sonic 2. That's something else we could chat about later on too. All went to see Sonic 2. It was a great time. Duke says we just waited until our kids were old enough and they taught themselves how to ride without training wheels. Well, there you go. I mean, if you don't want to do the whole hang on to the back seat, run with them, which who really does? Just give them a bike and tell them to get the heck out there and make it work.
Jaya was 10 by the time she was riding with no training wheels. Yeah. So yeah, that's a long time to wait.
Yeah.
Jaya has this outlook of things that she's happy to try it as long as it doesn't hurt her. And then once it hurts her, she will not try it again. So like she tried it before I met Lindsay. She fell off, hurt herself, and was adamant she wasn't getting back on the bike. So like one summer holidays here, I was like, you are going to ride that bike. So,
nice.
Yeah. There's nothing better though. I said this to you like back and forth in messages, that there's nothing better than that running behind and then just like kind of just gently letting go, and you're like, you're doing this, it's all on you. Yep. And then watching the absolute fear, because as soon as you say that, they go.
You're 100% right. That's exactly what happened too. I was like, you got this, buddy. You're doing it by yourself. And he looked back, and all of a sudden he's like, and I was like, okay, well, guess I should have just shut up and let you ride. So yeah, that's precisely what happened. So that's that, guys. Why don't we get into our top stories for we don't have any. Not that we don't. You know what? It's that time. It's that type of week. We had
a bug snacks been announced later on this month. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. That's like if we want to lift that out of what's going on in Game Pass, just pluck that right out. We'll make that our top story. Okay, there it is. Bug snacks released. I'm actually really excited. Are you excited about this at all?
I haven't had a chance to look at it. So, but it has the artwork that I've seen so far has that kind of interesting kind of, I don't know. I need to go and have a really good look at it. I haven't had a chance.
You're like, oh yeah, let me get really in depth on how I feel about this.
I'd like to give more information, but literally all I've seen of it is the thumbnail.
So
I'd like to say more.
Yeah, no, this is the Nintendo dads are in the chat in the house. Thanks for stopping by. So the thing I remember most about this was when this released, obviously it's been on PlayStation, I think since the PS5 came out. I think, in fact, maybe even before the PS5 came out, actually. But this came out in their preview, in the PS5 preview trailer, and Dan, Retro Logic Dan, did that with John and I don't know, a couple other people. And I remember listening to that episode and Dan being like, they were like, oh, we love this game. Dan, what'd you like? And Dan's like, I like Bug Snacks. That looked awesome. And everybody's like, really? And they were like, yeah, that's like top of my list. And I thought it was great. I was like, yeah, I love Dan. He's great. And so I'm actually really excited about it.
Yeah. Just for anybody that hasn't ever watched Dan and the stuff that he enjoys, Dan's a big Donkey Kong Country fan. So all I can say is if Dan's really excited, this must have some resemblance to Donkey Kong Country style gameplay in some way, shape, or form. Because for him to get 100% behind something, it must have that theme to it.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
And so, I've only seen the trailer. I haven't watched any gameplay. It looks fun. Another segue into this is though that if I'm playing Bug Snacks, I'm playing with Noah. Like that's just the fact. And so, just for everybody, it did release April 28th. This is going to be on cloud, as I understand it, as I read it. It's going to be on xCloud. It's going to be on PC Game Pass. It's going to be on the Nintendo Switch. It's like Bugsnax is everywhere as of April 28th. But I don't want to pay $25 for this game if I got it free. Like, come on now. Didn't Justin? So Nintendo Dads are asking, did Justin predict that Bugsnax would come? This has got to be Justin, because only Justin hops on the chats. Like, listen. Let me tell you what I did. Let me put this in the phrase of a question. But really, let me tell you what I did. He probably did, and now I hope it gets delayed. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. So what I'm thinking, Sean, is I need to play Bugsnax on Game Pass with Noah. With Noah. You
go, you're right.
Call that one, yeah. So the only way to do this, there's two ways to do this. One, I bring Noah down here, I show him the Xbox, I blow his little 8-year-old mind, and then we play down in the basement. That's a no-go. That's going to suck. It just is. I don't want to, this space is it's like 3 foot by 4 foot behind this desk, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy a 25-foot HDMI cable, and I'm going to run that sucker upstairs. So, because I'm not moving this ass up and down. That ain't going to happen. And I'm going to run it upstairs, and I'm going to hook it up to the TV upstairs, and I believe the controllers will reach from upstairs to downstairs, and I'm going to play the S on my TV upstairs with a 25-foot HDMI cable, and the S being in the basement. That's my plan. I'm going to let you know how that works, but that's my plan right now.
Yeah. The only issue you might have...
That's probably not going to work.
The only issue you might have is if there's concrete floors, but...
What kind of bunker do you think I live in?
I don't know. I don't know how houses are built. My kitchen has a concrete floor, so I assume that most ground floors are concrete. So.
Oh. Well, but there's nothing under you, right?
No.
That is the ground floor. Yeah.
Clay in the old bacon works that used to be built around here.
Yeah, I have a concrete floor under me right now in the basement, but between the two floors is just wood. Plywood, basically. Plywood and some beams.
We should just flash straight through. That thing's going to reach outside your house.
Hopefully. That's what we're hoping for. Anyways, so Bugsnax is coming out. That was the big drop as of today. Excited for that. But also, let's be honest, man. There's not a lot of top stories. I think they did it all last week. I had a couple of analogies there, but none of them are good.
Big news week last week. So this usually happens as well. We see this quite often. Xbox do this really big drop, boom, and then it's kind of like, okay, we need a minute to recover. So
that's pretty much true. But out today is I'm jumping ahead because I don't know what else to talk about. News bulletins. Back for Blood expansion with all new PvE levels. We played this in Extra Life. I thought it was okay. It's not like mind blowing. It's not really a game for me, to be honest.
I liked Left 4 Dead did it first time and they did it right. Anybody after that trying to just copy them, and it is just, unless you're playing with people that you know all the time, it ends up being absolute bedlam, which kind of can be a big turn off for the game. So great news if you have a group of guys that loved Back 4 Blood, or a group of people that play 4-player games quite often and you want to break from the normal. So you might have a quads run that you guys have for Fortnite or Warzone. Give Back 4 Blood a try. It's a good laugh if it's 4 people that you know.
Yeah, we played Extra Life. We played with Abucel and then one rando who just kept cussing at us because we weren't doing what he wanted to. So that was fun. The funnest part of the time playing with that was laughing at the guy that was cussing at us. That was because we weren't doing things the way he wanted us to. So that's it. But I'm just gonna mention this. Okay. I'm in episode 3 of Halo. Now listen, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say in episode 3, Sean, for all the Halo faithful that were worried about the damn helmet coming off of Master Chief, people, that's the last thing you had to be worried, because there's a lot more coming off than the helmet. Okay. I'm just going to say that right now. So, I don't want to, I'm not going to spoil anything more than what I just said, but man, let me tell you, that episode 3 blew me away. I was like, "Are you serious? This is what we're doing in the live action." Okay, all right, I'm here for it. It's entertaining, in more than one way, maybe. But I'll be through it. I thought it was crazy. Nintendo Dad Justin asked, "When can we expect the Xbox dongle?" Oh
See,
man.
this is a good section to drop for us to drop in the top rumors because I believe that section that Xbox have made themselves, that little bit of a showcase, we're going to hear about it then, and I think either early next year, late this year.
Mm-hmm. And does it have a hard drive, Sean? I'm just wondering. Speaking of Justin, I'm just wondering if you think I'm right or not. That's all. That's all I really want to know. Am I right? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to drop during P3. I mean, that's the time.
Justin also he's also asking what showcase. So I believe the date absolutely escapes me, but it's usually when E3 would have been on. So
yeah, I don't know if we have a date yet, but Xbox has said that where E3 was going to be, Xbox still planning a showcase for that time frame. And they gotta come out with some real hitters there. That's why Sean and I don't know if you know, but Phil Spencer's Twitter name is P3. So or Twitter handle, I should say, is P3. So we now just call it P3. I mean, I think E3's gone. We can pretty much say that. And so, now the first week in June is P3. It's Xbox and Phil Spencer's going to show their stuff. And if they come out with a dongle there, then that's going to be huge stuff. And if they bring a controller out with it that is Wi-Fi capable, then is that a Stadia killer? Is that what that's called? Is that a Stadia killer? I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think you might be right. I think it might be. So yeah, if they come out with it this year, that's when it's going to be for sure. You're looking up P3 dates, aren't you? Or times?
I'm literally tweeting to Phil Spencer. So hey, Xbox P3.
Are you really tweeting to Phil Spencer right now? This is what happens on the show, people. This is what happens on the show right here. We communicate with Phil. He gets back to us. We tell you what we think's going on. Bada bing, bada boom. I mean, there you go. That's how it works.
So I have just, for the listeners out there, I have just literally tweeted Xbox P3, which is Phil Spencer. When can we expect dates for #P3 this year? Winky emoji. So, we'll see when he gets back to us.
I'm sure it'll be real soon. So for anybody who doesn't know, though, what I'm kidding about is that Sean and I have a bet for 3 months of Xbox Game Pass that this dongle type thing will not have any sort of a hard drive involved. Well, of course you did, Justin. Of course you've booked Phil because you can get everybody. Like, I mean, who's next? You got Kit, you got Krista. I don't know, get Reggie. Miyamoto by the time you're done. I
would love to see all of the Nintendo dads take on Reggie because I imagine that the beginning of that podcast would then just all be going like the sheer fact that they have that guy.
I certainly would be. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'd be so struck. I was struck when I got on with the Nintendo dads for the first time. So.
Yeah. Could you imagine interviewing Phil on this show? I mean, yeah. No, I don't know. I'd be like. I don't know. No, I couldn't.
I'd be extra shiny because I'd be so nervous. I'd be sweating.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from there, Sean. You did me in. So, anyways, we have a bet of whether or not it's going to have a hard drive in it. So, Justin, we know you're in the chat. Do you, and anybody who's in the chat actually, do you think that this dongle is going to have a hard drive in it? Because I'm gonna be honest, I've thought about this some more, Sean. Because I hate losing bets. Like, man, I hate giving money to people. And I was like, am I wrong? Is there a way? But in SCOT's $299, it basically is a hard drive dongle. It's a dongle with a hard drive in it. Okay, it's not a dongle. I'm lying, but
yeah, but you've still got a lot of processing power inside the S. So you're paying a lot for the processor as well.
Yeah, I think this thing's coming out at like $50 if it's just a dongle. I think this thing's coming out like $50 with a decent Wi-Fi deal. Maybe it's more of a box and it can be plugged by Ethernet. In fact, maybe it is more like a Roku box. They have that thing. That's not the dongle that goes in a TV, but it's the box so it can have a hard drive. And so not a hard drive, so it can have Ethernet. And it's like $50. Like that's its spot. Yeah, it's xCloud on your TV. Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'm looking at prices of the Amazon Fire Stick 4K with a remote, voice activated. It's like £30 in the
Yeah.
UK. So
That's like
yeah,
that's like $150 American. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. So I'm saying like, yeah, okay. That could definitely $50 could definitely be a good benchmark for that price.
Yeah. And then, maybe it's 100. If they do the controller, yeah. If they do the controller, maybe it's like, I was going to say 90, but Justin here says 75. So, why didn't we just invite this guy on the show? I mean, geez, what's up with that? I mean, why didn't we just do that? So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. But if it has that controller and it's Wi-Fi capable, man, Stadia's got to like just do that big gulp, like that because that controller's their baby. Like that's the thing that nobody else has that they have. And
I took one of those apart today, and they are easy to take apart, easy to repair, and easy to put back together as well. So they're an easy fix.
That's awesome, because I really thought somewhere in there you're going to be like, easy to take apart, easy to fix, but impossible to get it all back together.
No, to repair JS today, I had to take you take the back. So what would be the light blue sections on yours, you kind of like pick them apart and pull them off. There's 4 screws there, one behind the battery compartment, and the whole thing just comes apart. The RB buttons and the little bar at the top where the pairing button is, they all pop off, little plastic clips that you just flick off. The D-pad comes off with a little metallic clip. Everything's there. It just all falls. Literally, I took it apart and it all fell apart in front of me. I was like, crap.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I cleaned it up. I kind of tried to repair it as best I could. But yeah, that controller will not charge anymore. I think she's broken the USB.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, that stinks. I've
luckily,
taken apart. Go ahead, sir.
Luckily, we have a spare one. So.
Yeah, so I mean, I've heard. So Justin just says Xbox needs to move away from batteries for their controllers. I totally agree. I have a Power
an Elite.
I have a the Elite did. I have a Power A dual charger, which I absolutely love, but it is annoying because like I have this really cool Game Pass News controller that's awesome, except now it has this dumb white like battery pack controller on the back that I wish wasn't there. But I mean, that's just because I'm a little anal about stuff like that. But I heard that they have
Microsoft did that. They were the first people doing it with like the whole smartphone industry, who stopped selling you the charger to go with your iPhone, just gave you the cable. They've done that. Microsoft did that years ago when they built the plug and play kit that was there with the Xbox 360. You can buy a kit where you take the battery out the back and it's just a square block. You plug that in and you get a cable with it and you charge it while you're not playing, unplug it, and it's wireless. It's there. It doesn't affect the color at the back or anything. It's just I think it's like 30 quid, $30, something like that for a plug and play kit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Justin, that's what I was going to say. That's what I heard, is that it's an agreement that they made forever ago with Duracell that's apparently not easy to get out of. That's just nuts to me, like utterly nuts.
Yeah. Duracell have them in the advert as well over here. So like they kind of boast that the new Duracell batteries will power the controller for longer, and it's an Xbox controller they hold up. So yeah, I mean, it must be part of their advertising deal as well.
When we were doing Extra Life, I almost was like, oh crap, like my one controller died. I had 2. This is the stupidest thing in 2022. My one controller died. I had 2 AA batteries left, and I'm literally texting my wife like, Becca, do we have any AA batteries left in the house? Because I still got like 8 hours to go with this thing, and I'm down to 2 batteries down here. So I could be like, how dumb is that? Like, sorry guys, we got to cancel Extra Life because Nick ran out of batteries, and so there you go. I mean, like, oh, welcome to like 2002.
I've got a 5-meter braided USB cable that runs out the back of the Series X, goes down and behind the TV, and like is just on a little clip. And if I need to, while I'm playing, I just unclip it, pull it out, and I've got 5 meters. It reaches to the sofa, and I've just got 5 meters of cable I pull across the living room and carry on playing.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that. That sounds horrible, but I could do that. But yeah, don't ever want to. I mean, I don't ever want to connect my controller to the actual console in that form to play ever again in my entire life. So,
Nintendo might have got rid of batteries, but they also introduced a drift. So
that's right. They were like, guess what, guys? What do we want? Drift or batteries? Let's choose. Let's shoot. Go drift. Okay, good. All right, we just go drift. Rid of the batteries. Sounds good.
No, I kid. No, the Joy-Cons are great. It's very rare I've had an issue with the battery life on the Joy-Cons until the OG Switch started to crap out. But then I was very nicely gifted the OLED, and the Joy-Cons on the OLED have never let me down. So.
Yeah, there's a conversation. So hey, thanks for a great chat conversation. Really appreciate all these questions. Xbox Spotlight, Sean, what have you been playing, man? Looks like you got a lot here.
It's been a good week. Again, I kind of came into this saying that I didn't have much time to play anything, but off the back of last week's episode, I dived into Tunic again for a while, and I finished the game, as I said, and then I went into the saves because obviously when you finish the game, it doesn't matter which ending you get. So this isn't really a spoiler. When you finish the game, it says you can make a copy of that save file, and you can then, restart the game with almost all the items. It takes a couple of things off you, like all the upgrades that you do when you pray with different things. I went into one of them and I didn't want to play it. I pressed B. It created this really weird save file, which you had when you got in touch with a developer about being stuck. So I launched it, and you end up in this really weird, just repeating room, basically with a gold path all the way through it. So I sat there for a while and I was like, this thing's repeating, and it's got all the characteristics of the golden path puzzle in Tunic. So I thought, okay. So I sat there for a while and I was kind of like, right, okay, I'm going to write out this like golden path and see if that does anything. Inputted that, did nothing. I spent ages like going to each individual archway and inputting this thing. I was like, okay, that's done nothing. So while I was at work, I was kind of like flicking through the booklet, and I noticed on one of the pages for the booklet that kind of shows you all the different little items that you can get. So like the ice bomb, the firecracker, the fire bomb, all that. I noticed that there was what looked like a QR code next to 3 of the bombs. And then I noticed that one of the dots was bigger than the rest, and that they formed a pattern, which I kind of like. I went away and thought, right, when we've seen something like that with all the spoiler alert, with all the different flowers and all the different candle patterns and all the different windmill patterns and stuff, I was kind of like, maybe that's another code that you can input to do something. So I went back to my game, I input it in, and lo and behold, the first one I put in, it gives you a bomb of that selection. So I was like, right, okay. So I went back to the secret save, loaded that up, and I noticed in the inventory, you don't have any of the bombs at all. There's nothing. So I inputted all these codes and I started like running around trying to blow holes in walls, because there's a couple of secrets in Tunic that involve you blowing holes in walls. Bit like Zelda. So I kind of got mad with that for it. And I set myself on fire. And while I was on fire, I died. I died in this whole secret save in this golden path. And when the game loaded back up after me dying, I was in some kind of map, the overworld map that isn't the overworld map in the main game.
This game is amazing. Like, it's utterly freaking amazing.
So I started running around it. There's a couple of places that you get really glitchy and stuck. But I have taken to the internet and kind of read what it is. And I believe it's a test map. I believe it's what the developers initially used to try and get a feel for how the game would feel to play and what things would do. So there is glitchy parts in it. There's enemies that don't make sense. They don't move, or they just move around and don't attack you, don't give you any damage. There's one big giant blob that you hit and it just bounces around the map, which is quite interesting to do. But like, there's initial things like there's like what looks like the original outlay of the sealed temple and stuff like that. So I've left it there. I don't think there is anything to that. I did some searching because at this point I was like, I've either got to delve deeper into this and it's going to be like drive myself to absolute insanity,
Yeah. Yeah.
or this is it. This is as far as it goes. And as far as I believe, there isn't anything else to do with that test map. I haven't seen a YouTube video. I haven't seen anything on Reddit, which is like where I usually go to for hints and tips on like if I get really, really stuck with stuff. So, but yeah, it's just another hidden twist to the game, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, so much. It's awesome that they did all that. It's also amazing how much stuff you did without any guides or anything like that. Like, kudos, man. I use guides.
So I'm other than four achievements I've got left to unlock on that, I am happily retiring that game for now until like maybe there's a revelation with that test map and I'll go back in and test some theories. But
I could see DLC for this game pretty like in like 6 months, or you know what, like Justin just said, can't wait to play it when it's on the Switch. That seems to be like with Bugsnax is getting Isle of Big Snacks as DLC. That seems to be real popular, so I could totally see when it hits Nintendo Switch them being like, hey, Tunic is on Switch and on this and on that and on this, and then also it's out with DLC, and so it's like, I could totally see that happening. So yeah.
And this is one of those games where I actually feel bad that I got to play it for free on Game Pass, where I'll buy this on the Switch. I'll buy it and replay it on the Switch because I think it'll play really well. I think it suits playing on the Switch probably better than it suits playing on the Xbox. And I want to put money into the developer. The developer did a fantastically good job of this game. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What else have you been playing, man?
I've been playing some more Warzone, just in and out where I can. I wanted to try and get on to Life is Strange, but my kids are off now for 2 weeks. Our spring break is 2 weeks long here, so I've kind of got that to play with. So I haven't got into Life is Strange. And Logan's, for whatever reason, got really big into Among Us. So I reinstalled that this afternoon and played a couple of games of Among Us with absolute randoms. Which was interesting and fun. It kind of kept him entertained for a little bit while his mum was working. So,
I was saying, we were talking about the Among Us on before we started. That game was so amazing for a hot second, at least in my realm of friends, and then we just stopped playing. Man, I'd really like to get a group back together and play that game again. I mean, even on Discord for a while, we played that game. Like, I don't know, every Saturday or whatever, there'd be a game going, or every once in a while. It really took by storm, and I don't know, maybe for some people it's still there, but for the most part it has seemed to wane fairly quickly.
On YouTube it's definitely got some kind of cult following, because I think that's where Logan's picked it up. He likes watching videos of people unboxing toys, and he's kind of gone from watching people unbox Hot Wheels to Pokemon cards to this, that, and the other, and he's eventually worked his way around to people unboxing Among Us toys. So he's happy drawing the characters, and he like kind of plays with the drawings that I've made, and I've cut them out and he pretends they're the figures. So I bought him some figures today. And he's over the moon with that. So yeah. So that's why I downloaded it before I give it a go. So
really cool. Yeah.
And then off the Xbox, the only thing I've been playing is Metroid Dread. I watched Tim, the Nintendo Dad's first look at Boss Rush. Watched how much he struggled to relearn the game, which I had to do exactly the same thing. That first boss was like, I was tripping up over myself. I couldn't remember the buttons. Then I got to the second boss and couldn't remember how to operate the grapple to beat that boss. So yeah, it took some relearning, but that's the other game I've been playing. So
yeah, we've chatted about that too. I mean, their button layout for that game is amazing, but it also is not easy. Like, it's, got to press L1 and then press this button, and then you got the three, Y, X, B. They all do their own thing, and it's like, your fingers really start to feel like spaghetti trying to like get to all the things to do the thing.
What I will say is, after like an hour of playing it, I picked it back up. It is like, referencing the beginning of the podcast where we're teaching kids to ride bikes, it is like riding a bike. It's like the muscle memory is there, just takes a bit of time to wake it up.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, you're younger than me, but it takes a long time for me to just get up and wake up at this point. I mean, so there you go. Is that everything, man?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing, which didn't, when I said didn't seem like I was playing a lot. I played quite a bit. So,
Yeah, you varied some stuff around here. I just played two things, and one of them I actually started and finished today. But I'll talk about Kirby first. I'll go non Xbox first. Playing Kirby with Noah and Ariel, actually, both of them. We beat the game last week, and then this week we've just been cleaning stuff up. I think we just got past. We just finished off the snow world, like cleaning everything up, getting all the Waddle Dees and all that jazz. And so now we're whatever, I can't remember what the next world is, but we're into that one. We haven't started there's a whole different like campaign that you can go into. We haven't even started it, haven't even looked at it. So we still got all that to do. I mean, that game, when you beat it, you're like, oh, okay, that was kind of short. But then when you finish it, if you want to go for I don't know if we're even going for 100%, honestly, but if you just want to get all the Waddle Dees that you can find in each level and everything, that game's got a lot of legs behind it. So I got 2 more weeks. I got to get that game done in 2 weeks because everybody will be on to Switch Sports. So we got to get that done. But I think it'll be doable. Loving it, by the way. Absolutely loving it. I mean, best Kirby game I've played probably ever. Second game I played, oldie, Limbo, and I meant to look at when this came out because I don't actually even know. I was searching through Game Pass, being like, what do I want to play? What's interesting? And so I found Limbo, and I remember chatting about it. Yeah, released July of 2010, so this is 12 years old. Wow. This game's sound and visuals really hold up for a 12-year-old game. I don't know if I'm playing a remastered version or what, but holy crud. And I mean, it's a dark game, a lot of shadows, and stuff like that. So, but the lighting in this game, the sound in this game, if it is just the 12-year-old version, I can see why it got the accolades it got. But I remember people talking about it, and I just didn't have a way to play it at the time. So I was like, well, okay, I missed it. So I saw it and I was like, put that in. I'll admit, it's one of those games, a lot like Far Changing Tides, where the story isn't, really there. But the gameplay is great. There's a lot of gotcha moments in this game where they'll like have you do one thing, like don't hit the button, don't hit the button, don't hit the button. And then they're like, and so you like hop over the button and they're like, boom, and you're dead. And you're like, oh, I guess, okay, that time I was supposed to hit the button. So, some of those got... the game was short enough and it wasn't very difficult to the point to where I died a lot in that game, a lot. Sean saw a lot of them. But it didn't, I don't know. I normally hate gotcha things, but for some reason in this game, you're kind of able to just chuckle them off and move on. You figure them out pretty quick. You're like, okay, I need to not do that this time. And I really enjoyed it. Short game. I think it's probably 3-4 hours for me to finish it. Like I said, not much of a story, but I really did enjoy it overall. So those are the only 2 games I've been playing.
With Limbo, I enjoyed watching you play because I think I played up to the where you got like the parasite on your head. I think that's where I played to when I played Limbo. I can remember up to there. I can't remember much else because as we were talking on Discord, I kind of kept referencing a different game that Playdead made, which was called Inside, and I played that on the mobile. So gotcha. I kind of got mixed up with the games. But with Inside, it was so intuitive that like you do a couple of things and you're like, so that's definitely not what I can do. So you kind of go back and you start looking around and you're looking at the environment around you and you're like, oh, that wiggles if I do this. So I wonder if I can do that with this. And yeah, it was a really good game. And we had you had a good few people in the chat. You had Parrot Mode in the chat that was just kind of like talking you through a few things. You had Hambo and Johnny.
He was super helpful.
So yeah, it was good. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed watching it. I watched it for a while, then I had to make a couple of phone calls. So I kind of left Logan watching it. And he was engrossed with it, man. He was watching it. So
I hope I didn't give him nightmares, because I died by a bear trap a few times. Spider got me. I fell on spikes. I don't know. But I will do, Sean. I promise you this, because I know I teased you. You got done with Elden Ring, and I made the little death counter video for your first hour of Elden Ring. I promise for my first hour of Limbo, I will make a death counter because let me tell you, I died in a whole lot of unique ways. So I'll make myself a death counter.
The bit that made me laugh was when you walked over that bear trap and it killed you, and then you kind of figured, right, okay, so I won't do that. But you dragged it all the way over to the spider and then just walked into it. For whatever reason, that just hit me in the right spot to just I proper belly laughed at that.
So I will say this. Your character is a little heavy in the game. You know, the way he controls, he's heavy. And so like when you walk, it's almost like you let go of the stick and he still like waddles a little bit. Like he's got some weight behind him, even though he's just like a little kid. He jumps heavy, he walks heavy. But yeah, so that's what happened. I was like walking and I let go right as I was near it. But he like just did a little bit more of a waddle and it was like, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I did all that work and I got to do it again. But I will say that about it. There's a lot of save points in it. So you get over like one puzzle area and boom, it automatically saves for you, which is great. It's not like it doesn't punish you a ton for death because that's good because there's a lot of death. So, that's a spotlight. That's what we've been playing. Yeah, here comes. That's right. That's right, Duke. I got lots of excuses. You better believe it. So let's move on into the party chat. Sean, why don't you start us off?
So last week we had a big information drop, so we kind of skipped a couple of the questions. We're saving for this week. So to start off with Hambo and Johnny with. What's your most anticipated game for the rest of this year?
Yeah, so he was pretty open on that. Didn't say Xbox or Game Pass. Xbox or Nintendo. So what do you think?
I don't know. I can't remember everything that's coming out if I was to go across all the consoles and platforms. I'd say Forza Motorsport 7, I'm looking forward to getting some information about that because I'd like to get my teeth into a racing sim game like purely for the Xbox. Mm-hmm. If we're talking like Nintendo,
yeah, let's do one for each.
So yeah, it'd be a Forza Motorsport 7 for to come out on Game Pass day one later on in the year. I know there's not been much about that, but that's one thing I'm very looking forward to. The other one is probably either Mario Strikers or the new Mario Rabbids game for the Nintendo.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, man. I knew exactly. I was Strikers all the way until you brought that up. Gal dog it. So for me in Xbox land, it's Starfield. And I just keep praying to everybody who wants to listen to me that game does not get pushed. I mean, they're certainly debuting it like it's not going to. They keep talking about little tidbits about it and giving you factoids, and they have this little diary montage on YouTube. So Starfield has me intrigued, excited. I don't know, somewhere in between there. You know, I mean, we haven't seen enough about it for me to be like, I'm super pumped and excited for this game. It looks amazing. Well, I don't really know what it looks like, to be honest. I'm not getting enough to be able to say that. And so on Nintendo land, I'm going to stick with Strikers. I am really excited for Strikers. In fact, I said in Discord that like Drew was like, hey, do you want to do who wants to do a Mario 64 golf league? And I was like, I will, as long as it doesn't interfere with Strikers League, because like that's my baby. That's what I'm super excited for. I want to play that game with my son. I want to play that game with Discord. I just want to. That's got me pumped, and I want to play it. So those are probably the games.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Mario Strikers gives us a way of playing as a group from like the Nintendo Dads Discord with other groups around the world, because would be amazing.
Yeah, they have leagues. Like you can form is it an 8-person league? I can't remember, but I know that they've made leagues. So I'm with you. I want to take advantage of every network thing. I'll probably get they'll probably get the crap kicked out of me most of the time. That's okay. But I mean, my memory of Strikers is so rich. Like I always talk about that game being one that I absolutely loved. Probably my favorite Mario sports game. Mario Baseball's really right behind there. I really like Mario Baseball too. But Strikers probably even beats out golf. So yeah.
So as always, Mr. Hambo and Johnny gives us like a serious gaming question, And then he chucks in something like chunky or creamy peanut butter. So that's his next question. Chunky or creamy?
So wait, but first I have to know, like, first, let me just say, peanut butter is a staple of my life. Okay. I mean, I eat peanut butter almost every day. Sometimes more than once a day. In fact, I had it twice today. Do you like peanut butter, Sean?
Yes. Unbelievable. I love it so much.
Okay. All right. We're in the same boat. All right. I was wondering if you're in the same, because I was like, well, I don't even know if you like it. So for me,
to the point where, like, for people who are watching this as a video, my wife found this company today called Dubai Donuts, just over in West Yorkshire, near, like, literally half an hour's drive from me today. And she was showing me the website, and these donuts are like this. They're huge. They are the biggest donuts I've seen in the UK, and they are really, really, really nice. I was massively upset because they on the website they had peanut butter ones, but when we got there, they hadn't baked any that day because they kind of changed the menu daily.
Oh man!
And today was like Vegan Tuesday, so they had loads of vegan ones. And because you can't really get much along the lines of vegan peanut butter, they didn't do the peanut butter ones today, so I was very upset. So I went for a Kinder Bueno one and ate the crap out of that one instead.
I like it. Which, by the way, Duboy, we take sponsorships. I mean, I can't really taste your products probably unless you want to ship one over here somehow. But we do sponsorships. That's cool. You hit us up. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's chunky all the way, 100%.
For me, it depends on what I'm having it with. So if I'm having like peanut butter and what you'd call peanut butter and jelly, but peanut butter and jam on toast, smooth. If I'm having like, and I used to have this, I have this as a post-run snack kind of thing, a banana chopped up with peanut butter, crunchy.
Okay. Yeah, see, I go crunchy both ways. There's not much that I won't do crunchy peanut butter with. Also, have you ever taken like a tortilla wrap and just smothered it with peanut butter, put a banana in there and rolled it all up?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, it's the best. It's the best thing.
Go one better than that, and then like kind of grill it a little bit. So you get the sweetness of the banana kind of roasting slightly. The peanut butter goes really runny.
Yeah.
The wrap goes crunchy.
Yeah. What was I've always heard of like Elvis's sandwich, which is like, have you heard? I can't remember.
Deep fried peanut butter and bacon or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I can't remember entirely, but there's a banana in there too. I'm fairly certain.
But if you, over here we had there was a company called the Handmade Burger Company in the UK, and they made a peanut butter burger. And this thing was no. This thing was amazing. There was no cheese involved, so it was a burger, peanut butter, a little bit of like really salted bacon, and then a really like thin layer of burger relish style jam, which was just a little bit sweet.
Oh my gosh, I'm down. Yeah, so it's bread, peanut butter, banana, bacon, butter, bread. There you go. I'd eat it. I'd try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm trying it. That's all I'm saying right now. I'm trying it. I'll let you know how I feel about it I'll let you know how I feel about it next week. I'm doing this.
So when we get to like the 2-year anniversary and Nick is the size of a small blimp, we'll blame it on the peanut butter. We'll blame it on.
That's right.
Blame it on Elvis Presley.
That's right. I'm putting this in Discord right now for anybody who's wondering. Putting this in our party chat right now. So there you go. If this works, boom. There you go. I'm making this thing and I'm gonna eat it. Yeah. So it's chunky for me all the way. I absolutely love peanut butter. It's like my life. I mean, right under my kids and God and my wife.
Peanut butter, kids, God, life.
That's right. Yeah.
Some kind of layer like that.
Yeah. Okay, so next question comes from Tim. So he's piggybacking off of Hambone here. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or Reese's Pieces? If neither, then what candy with peanut butter do you prefer? Sean, go.
So I went and picked up some bits and pieces from the supermarket the other day, and because it's Easter, or the run-up to Easter in the UK, they have all kinds of different egg varieties. So we've got the Cadbury's cream egg, we've got the Cadbury's caramel egg, and there's an Oreo one. Reese's have released a Reese's Pieces egg, which is a similar size to a cream egg, but flatter.
Okay.
For nearly half the price of a Cadbury's cream egg. and it's right by the till, the whole
Oh,
impulse
yeah, they always
impulse
are.
buy area. I was like
Mhm.
scanning stuff in. I was like, I'll have one of those. I ate that thing in one, and oh my god, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but yeah, it's either that, a Baby Ruth, because I like a Baby Ruth bar, but they're like ridiculously expensive to buy in the UK, like
Oh, yeah.
£1.25 for a bar, which is
Sounds about right.
really expensive. Or the UK version of one of those is called a Star Bar.
A
So they're
Star
my
bar.
go-tos. Star Bar, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I've not.
which is made by
What
Cadbury's.
is what is in a Star bar?
Caramel, peanuts, biscuit.
Hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Hmm.
That's
That's
it.
interesting. Yeah, I'm not. We don't. I don't think we have anything like that over here. So here's my deal. It's peanut butter. It's a Reese's peanut butter cup. Easy. I mean, Reese's Pieces are just like I basically have to take half the bag and put it in my hand and eat it in one bite to feel like I have a considerable amount of like peanut butter, you know? And I'm like, I don't even really like it. And then it's crackly and I don't know. I don't get it. So Reese's peanut butter cup. Now, what I will say is if I'm going to do like peanut butter, like a Reese's Pieces type thing, I'll nix the Reese's Pieces. I will buy peanut butter M&Ms. Those are a fair size peanut butter candy. Okay, these Reese's Pieces, they're too small, man. I don't know what to do with these things. These are like kid candy. I mean, I want man-sized candy here. Okay, like like don't get me out of this stuff.
For me, the Reese's Pieces are great if you're gaming. If you have a
Oh
bowl and you've
yeah,
already got it
yeah, I see
unwrapped and
that.
they're sat there, they're great for just dipping in every now and then. But
Hmm.
if you're going for just a one hit snack, it needs to be bigger than that.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I don't game and eat much, but yeah, I can see how that would be helpful. So you mentioned the Cadbury egg. What is your thought of the gelatinous Cadbury egg? Are you in or out on that?
Gelatinous.
Wait,
What do
wait.
you
What
mean
were you
by
talking?
that?
What were you talking about when you were like, it's like a because you didn't say Cadbury. I just thought that was like the British way to say it.
It's a cream egg.
Oh, is it cream? Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's just okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. We're talking
with the
about the same
white
thing.
the white and yellow like
Yeah, yeah,
sugar
yeah,
fondant
yeah.
inside. Yeah,
I called it
that's a Cadbury's cream egg.
gelatinous.
Oh, yeah, I love those things. If
Yeah, I do
in
too.
fact at the moment McDonald's have got their premium
What?
McFlurry at the moment is the Cadbury's cream egg McFlurry, and it's
What?
the fondant from the center of a Cadbury's cream egg squirted into the McFlurry and mixed up. It's like pure cocaine in ice
I
cream.
gotta
It's
know
unreal.
if we have this in the states. I have to know if this is in the states. McDonald's Cadbury McFlurry 2022. Oh, maybe we do.
Yes. There you go. Look at that. That's a definite like
Think,
tomorrow afternoon
yeah.
treat for you and the kids. That thing is amazing. If you like the fondant in the center of a Cadbury's cream egg or a cream egg or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, I don't know. This is image via McDonald's Canada, so I don't have.
Oh. So there you
Don't
go,
know.
Justin. Go. Well,
Yeah.
Justin will know what it is anyway because he'll have eaten it while he was in Ireland. So
See, I don't know that we do. I'm finding every country but ours. Cadbury cream egg, McDonald's Ireland. What the hell are we doing, McDonald's? Why haven't I got my stuff? Now maybe we
sugar
do.
content. That'll be the sugar content.
Yeah, yeah. I got to figure that out. But anyways, I love Cadbury eggs too. Okay, that's all I got. Moving on.
Okay. So it's a gaming question. This coming from Tim. First quarter of 2020 is done. What grade do you give Xbox Game Pass so far for this year?
You want me to go first?
For me,
Okay,
yeah,
go.
for me, no, I'll go this. For me, so far, it's a solid C minus.
Wow, tough grader. I like it.
Well, it'd have got less than that if it wasn't for Tunic. So let's give it that. It's been very quiet. The first quarter of this year has been very quiet. Other than we've had lots of big news. So we've had the acquisition of Activision. We've had all the stuff coming out the back of that. We've got all the stuff that we've had to look forward to because of that. But we had a really big back end of last year. So December, like October, November time, with the drop of
Oh my gosh.
Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, big day one games. It kind of went up and then tailed and tailed and tailed down. So, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, there hasn't been any big games. So that's the reason why it gets such a low grade. Because I've backed off. I've gone back to playing a bit of Warzone. I've gone back to the Switch a little bit. So I've kind of tailed away from Game Pass because the stuff that's been coming out, as much as we've been having a lot of content, hasn't been big content for me.
This is where after we've built our list, like if Tim asked this question for the second half of this year or whatever, second quarter of this year, when we built this list, it's going to be a lot easier to go and be like, okay, wait, what entirely has come to Game Pass? Because I sometimes, like, I'm not entirely certain I know, even though I'm here every week chatting about it. So you're right. Like, we got Nobody Saves the World, which for me was pretty good get. We got Tunic. We now have Life is Strange. Those are all real good gets. Lost in Random, I'm really excited about that, but I don't want to say it's a good get until I play it. So yeah, man, I don't know that I'd give it a C minus. C minus. That's I'm gonna go with a C plus. I'm gonna go with a C plus. We didn't get any big games. Stalker got pushed or just delayed to infinity. And so that was really gonna be, Xbox's big gig. If Stalker would have been able to hit, you probably would have been in the B range somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. That's where I'm gonna stick it right now. That's where I'm gonna stick it.
Hey, it's a good pass. I mean, it's still a great deal to have. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the beginning of 2022 kind of hasn't followed the hype of the end of 2021. So.
No, definitely not. And that I think that's why Game Pass right now, Microsoft is looking and they're saying, okay, wait, what do we got over here? Can you bring that to Game Pass? Can you bring that? Because right now we got no first party, nothing. So, like, we need Bugsnax. We need Nobody Saves the World. We need Tunic. We need that all just funneled right into this monstrous machine, because otherwise, people are going to complain and they're going to unsubscribe and it's not going to be good. And so, yeah, 100%. If I had a doc, I'd give the next question. I do. Here it is. So one complaint I read, but don't completely understand, is that Game Pass has too many games and it creates paralysis by analysis. What would you change in the user interface to help alleviate this issue for new subscribers?
So that question came from Shy Guy in the Discord.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I completely agree with this. There isn't many different ways of cycling through games that are available on Game Pass. You kind of have, you can have platformer, action adventure, driving, or racing, I believe. What else was there? There's a couple of other different genres that you can kind of bounce through. And then there's obviously recently added, and then there's top picks for you based on your downloads. Now, unfortunately for me, that top picks based on downloads doesn't do a great deal, because I've downloaded so many different games, because I'm trying so many different games, that kind of thing starts to get flooded with, games that I've downloaded that I haven't played, downloaded to play the first 5 minutes to try. It's not a very good thing to reference to. I just wish there was more of an algorithm there based on games that you've purchased, games that you've played via disc, and games that you could add to a wish list, because that'd be pretty good. Also, the coming soon list could do with being a bit bigger. So, but yeah, other than that, there's that many games on there. It's a case of cycling through and going, yeah, I've heard about that one. I haven't heard about that one. Oh, I've been told that one's good. I'll play that one. So, yeah. Like we say quite often, it is the buffet of the gaming world at the moment, and you kind of pick and choose what you want to eat. But yeah, I would, I'd somewhat agree with you on that. That it is true that is an issue of Game Pass. For me, it's less an interface issue and more of a personality deal. In the sense that, listen, man, I want to play whatever's next, right? I want to play what's next, what's hot, what's coming out, what interests me. And I've chatted about this on here a few times at this point. And so that was me having to kind of say, okay, how does Game Pass work for me, and how do I make it? How do I make Game Pass work for me? And I'm not working for it, like I'm not trying to go from thing to thing.
on a interface level, it would be interesting to, well, I mean, as Shy Guy says, other people say that there's paralysis analysis. For me, it's like, well, I know all the games that are coming to Game Pass because I'm literally searching for them every week. Like every week, I'm out looking for like what's coming to Game Pass, what's been announced to come to Game Pass in the future, you know? So for me, it's less of like, oh, what's what, you know, like what could be there, what is there, to like, I know what's going to be there. And at this point, I almost make a calendar of like, okay, I know this is coming out. Okay, here's a great point. I knew that today, what's the game that's just dropped? Why can't I not think of it?
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Thank you. I knew that Life is Strange dropped. I knew that I wanted to play Limbo, but Limbo was only like I looked it up on how long to beat. Limbo was only like a 4-hour game. So if I started it this week, I'd probably beat it. And I did, and I was like, okay, cleared the plate. Now I'm ready for Life is Strange. Like I literally have a whole thing. But for people who aren't doing that, man, you're bopping from like, I'm gonna play a little bit of Tunic, and oh wait, Life is Strange is out now. I want to try that, and it's just like, and I think that's where the paralysis analysis comes in of like, what do I start? Do I start Life is Strange now? Well, there's two ways to look at it. You're bouncing from everything, or literally like paralysis analysis is the definition of just like, I don't know what to start. If I start Life is Strange, what's going to come out next? And then I'm not going to be able to play that. And then you just stop. And it's a mindset more than anything. It's a gamer mindset that's not hard to break or not easy to break.
One thing I'd like to see done on the interface is that when you select a game, so like if somebody went in and selected Tunic, for example, you could scroll down to the bottom of the description of that game, and it said, like, you have this players who downloaded this game also chose this game. It gives you maybe like 4 different games that are, people who have played this have then gone and played this game, or people who have downloaded this game have played this, or even a recommendation. So, you've really enjoyed playing Tunic, a recommendation system. So do you recommend? It kind of then helps everybody out in the community that play Game Pass, but I suppose that's a hard thing to do because you've then got to trust everybody, get everybody involved in leaving those recommendations.
Yeah. Now they do have recommendations, but I can't pull them up on here. But I don't remember thinking that they were very helpful to me. Yeah. That's the problem. But I can pull them up on my console, but I just pulled them up. I tried to pull them up on my mobile device, but they don't seem to be here.
I mean, one of the best ways to get around this whole choice analysis oh my god, the issue with not knowing what to play is listen to us every week. We'll tell you what's great. We'll tell you what to play.
Amen. Preach it, brother. That's right. That's what we
not wanting to toot our own horns a little bit, but we definitely steer you in the right direction of what's good to play. So
that's right. So thanks for the questions, everybody. Let's just skip that last run from that one weird guy. It's my question, but we'll do it another time. We're already at an hour here, and we have not even gone over what's coming out for Game Pass this week, or what's out for Game Pass this week. And I messed up and didn't change the stuff. Oh no, I did. I guess I didn't realize that the Dungeon of Newelbeck came out this week. I thought they came out last week. See? I can't keep track. I don't know what the heck's going on. That is new on, what is it, Cloud? I think Cloud only. That's because that game's already out.
Dungeon of Newbeck is all free.
It's all 3, but it's already out for something. Maybe PC. It's only new on a couple. Okay. So it's new on console and PC console and cloud then. Is that it?
That's correct.
Okay, there you go. See, look at us. Panzer Core 2 out this week is out only for PC. So you PC Game Pass people, congratulations. You can play that.
And I believe
it's
a little bit like Lost Empires style game, but with tanks. So it's a strategic kind of not turn-based battle game, but live strategic battle.
Yeah. Life is Strange: True Colors also out this week on everything for Game Pass. I thought it was very interesting. I wasn't sure what it was going to be out on, but console, cloud, and PC. I might stream this tonight, depending on how life goes. I might not. It all depends on what happens. It's downloaded on my Switch. I will beat this game because I told Zablanc from Dad's After Dark that I was gonna, and I certainly am not gonna have to listen to the crap that will come if I do not beat it. So, so for anything else, I will beat it for that reason. But I've always wanted to play a Life is Strange game. I mean, I know what it is, but I really have no idea its form or function and how it works, what it looks like, anything really. Like, I've not watched any gameplay or anything like that. So even though I know its basis, I really don't know much about it. So I'm interested to see what that's like.
Yeah, and I played the first one.
Oh, did you?
It is very much, it's very much a kind of walk and talk, narrative, make decisions kind of game. Very dialogue style gameplay. So it was good. I'm looking forward to playing this one. So it's downloaded, it's there. I've told my eldest about it because she played the first one too. She did the usual teenage response of, "Oh yeah, that's cool." So
shut up and like it. And
well,
play it.
She said, that's cool. Then we carried on playing Grand Theft Auto. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe she's into a different genre, maybe, possibly. And so that's what's out this week. Pretty busy week. Excited for all these games. Coming newly announced. Let me put it that way. Newly announced this week. Bug Snacks, which you've already chatted about. Unsold, which was, and I looked this game. I watched the trailer for this game, but I don't remember much about it, so I'm sorry. And then there's the Iodine Chronicles. I'm looking this one up. I'm going to move on to the Iodine Chronicles. I should have done that first. The Iodine Chronicles is an action RPG. It has an Octopathy feeling to it. Or not feeling, but like art style to it. I don't want, but I think it's an action RPG, not a turn-based RPG. I'm somewhat interested in trying it out. Unsold, like your soul has been taken away from you. So I might give that one a shot. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, Unsold is a like top-down 2D action RPG. Its art style is very like 16-bit. You play as a samurai that can battle through kind of different environment, destructible environments while taking on enemies. While unrevealing mysteries of the area and things like that. That's as much as I know about that game.
Yeah, it was very combat heavy. I remember that now.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Citizen Sleeper has a very like you're in the space quarters. You get to make your own world here. It's a lot of like logistics and stuff like that. So I'm somewhat I think it's a game that might be a little too deep for me. But that's coming out. Citizen Sleeper is coming out May 5th. Sorry, we didn't give you dates for any of this. Iodine Chronicles is coming out May 10th. Citizen Sleeper May 5th. Bug Snacks and Unsold are coming out April 28th. So, yes. And if you're in our Discord, I'm going to do something I said I was going to do last week and then never did because I forgot to do it because that's what I do sometimes. I am going to drop a list of our list of Game Pass games. Sorry, don't mean to stutter so much.
Yeah.
So that everybody can take a look at it.
Yeah, Nick is going to give you a read-only version of what we see every week when we're looking at the big list of games with dates, where they're coming to, and links, which I think are interactable. So
yes,
follow the link, take you straight to the gameplay trailer or announcement trailer of that game, depending on the age of the game. So.
And that is all the new stuff for Game Pass, I believe.
Yeah. What's leaving isn't changing from last week, so we won't talk about that. And Games of Gold is also unchanged from last week. So yeah, that's pretty much a show. We've answered everybody's questions this week, which was nice. Hambo and Johnny's joined us in the chat a bit late because he's not heard his the answer to his questions about crunchy or creamy peanut butter. But yeah, that means he's now going to have to go away and listen to the podcast.
That's right. Listen to the podcast. We had a spirited conversation about peanut butter. Not bury the hatchet, but we all love peanut butter, or we both love peanut butter, and we'll tell you how much.
So yeah, if you're happy, I'll get us kind of queued up for a raid. We're going to do a raid of somebody that's playing Life is Strange, and I will take us out.
Sean, I'm podcasting with you. I'm always happy.
Yay! Let me see. Life is Strange, True Colors, 6 views. We will do. Copy you. And set this up for raid. It's cool that you missed it, Hambo and Johnny. It's absolutely fine. We know for a fact that
we still love you.
Yeah, definitely. So our roll is out. The raid is about to begin. Socials, as always, are at Game Pass News. It's over at Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch. If you're listening to this via your podcasting app, please, if you can, give us some feedback, give us a comment, give us a like, get us up there in the algorithm. If you want to join us and chat to us in the Discord, head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. For a little $1 a month, you can join in, or subscribe to our Twitch channel because that gets you directly in there as well. Thank you very much to everybody that joined us in the live chat. Justin from Nintendo Dads, this is the Duke, Hammer and Johnny. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
See you guys.